Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Community Corner. My name is KL Smith, joined by my good buddy Nathan Mooney and Matt Schembari, our UI lead. And today, we're going to talk about the Mastery rework that is on the way, V42. It's going to be a big one. Tons and tons of questions from you guys. But before we get started, how you guys doing?
Great. I mean, I'm super excited to be able to start talking about this and that it is just about out there. I mean, it's just a couple of weeks away at this point. We've been working on this thing, talking about it for forever, it feels like, and working on it for months. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we put out that first blog post, I don't know how long ago, talking about the new items, rewards that were coming in Masteries, because a lot of folks were like, hey, we want more stuff. And it's like, guys, guys, we're working on it. But some of that stuff is a new skin. Which is the rival skin, new emote. And we're going to have banners. And then the secret item, crowns. So
let's go.
You almost gave it away last time.
I'm out here with the gesture, the gesture teasing. It was a teaser, you know what I mean? That was all on purpose.
So I'm going to preface this by saying this is probably the most uncomfortable you're going to see Mooney.
That's not true.
In the entirety of the Community Corners, but because we're talking about Masteries.
Yeah, my favorite topic.
It's great. So, Matt, why did you guys decide to change up the Mastery system? And why did we land on where we're at now?
So the Mastery system as it is on live right now has a bunch of kind of fundamental problems with it, right? I think the first one is that it's kind of confusing. It's hard to explain, right? So what you do is you spend some reputation or coins and you get something right now, and then you have to level up a bunch, but everyone gets those rewards. And then, you know, towards the end, you start getting special rewards again. And those rewards are kind of far away. And so you get this, you buy something and then you get the emote, you know, many hours later. And so it doesn't feel very rewarding. And then on top of it, you know, what happens is you spend all this time, you get super dedicated to a character. You're like, I love Gideon. Gideon's the best character out there. You play him all the way through and you finally reach the end. You get this master skin, you get to show it off. And it's like, no, okay, don't play this character anymore because you get no more progression. Right. And so that's just kind of a bummer, is that you kind of go down this path the entire time and then stop. Right. And so, you know, we've put in a bunch of different things to kind of help address that. The crowns help with that. And then, of course, uncapping the levels to kind of go on forever are a big part of that as well.
So perfect. Now that I don't have to stop, I can do it.
That
was holding me back. I was like, I can't mentally get to 10 because I know that I know my potential is so much higher with steel. You know what I mean?
So while, you know, the UI team has been super busy, and Mooney, you were part of the regs team.
Yeah,
so were you and Matt like colluding together, like, hey, look, Matt, I don't have any master skins.
I was like, Matt, look, man, I hate to be this guy. I'm struggling with the current system and really just showing my passion for steel, and I need some new ways to show off how swaggy I am with steel. Right.
Okay.
And that was the only reason we did it.
Really. Yeah, I wrote that. We were in a meeting, and I was like, look, I need this. I need this, guys.
Were you saying that, like, you're like, you got to do it for community? Did you like, because you were representing community?
I was like trying to be the people's champ. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like I was just out here. I was doing it for you guys. I got you guys. Don't worry about it.
So there's a couple things I want to hit on. The first one is the progression of how long it takes right now, right? We have a ramp up system right now. And one of the things that we hit was kind of like, it feels much better going from each level. Can you kind of walk us through what that is
so
like?
You know, what you have on live right now is this kind of really harsh exponential curve, right? The first 4 levels you get, like, you know, in just a couple games, right? And then it gets slower and slower, and level 7, 8, 9, it's just such a slog, right? You know, it's hours and hours and hours, and you can play a game and watch that progress bar go up like 2 pixels, right? And that's just not satisfying, right? And so going into this new system, we wanted to have a goal that you could level up every play session, right? And so that's kind of where we came up with the number of about every 2 hours we want you to level up, right? And so the whole system now is completely different and balanced around that concept of of giving you a level up, giving you a reward with every single play session, right? And so the new system, for anyone who hasn't kind of read the blog post yet, you've got 10 levels, right? And these 10 levels are much faster. Those are 2 hours apart, and each one's even, just an even 2 hours across, all the way across to the end. And then at level 10, when you hit that, you prestige. It's kind of like a lot of other systems. You rank up. And so you hit the end, you rank up, and you go back to the beginning, and you can earn those rewards again. And so those fast rewards that we're talking about, the level 2, 3, 4, 5, those are things like chests and cards and things like that. The new cards, and of course chests have changed entirely in the new system as well. No longer get reputation in chests anymore. No longer get coins in chests anymore. And we'll kind of give you a bit of a tip towards the end of how to game the system.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, but you kind of go through those quick rewards, right? And then each time you rank up, that's where the special rewards come in. That's where you get the crown. That's where you get the banner and the emote and the skin and things like that. So you do that, and you go through the first 10 levels or so, or 10 ranks, and at the end of rank 10 you get the master skin, and that's pegged exactly where the master skin was before, right? It was really important for us to kind of keep that at the same point.
Right.
And I think it might be like 1 or 2% off, but it's essentially the exact same position. But there's a rank 11, there's a rank 12, there's a rank 13 that goes all the way up to 99.
So Mooney, you're still going to have the same level. You're going to have to dedicate yourself.
Yeah,
It'll feel better along the way.
Yeah. So like, as long as it feels better, I'm down for it. Let's go. Like I'm committed now, and I know I've been committed before, but like, you know what they say, like 8 through 14th times the charm, right? So like, we'll get there together. But like, I want to see who's out there getting level 99. Really though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
there should be a couple gauntlets that get thrown. Now let's put out the challenge that first person to get 99 can hit us up for a special reward. Yeah. Something like that.
Hero Race 99 edition, really?
Yeah.
I am just, they have to personally, I'm sure I will see the Reddit thread that pops up, and then we'll confirm it, and then that person. I'm just throwing it out there right now. But I'm excited for that. One of the things I am curious about is if you are already, and this gets into some of the what's going to happen to all my stuff. But if you are already level 10, and let's say you continue to play your hero, what kind of happens to the person when they log in for the first time for V42?
Okay, so if you are at ranked level 10 in the current system on live, when you log in, you will be rank 10 in the new system, right? So we will transfer all of your XP. We will transfer all of the rewards as well. And actually, that's one thing that's important is that when you guys log in for version 42, there is going to be a ton of stuff in your inventory, right? Because we are giving you, it's kind of ludicrous to be honest, because we're transferring all of your old cards, all your components, all the old card packs, all unopened card packs, all the masteries as well. We're transferring all of that data over as if you have earned it in the new system already, right? So we got all the different formulas and stuff like that, and it was actually so much stuff that we had to make a special screen just to explain what happened to your account, right? All the crazy things that are happening. So there will be people who have hundreds of these new veteran chests, we're calling them, which have 14 items inside of them, just so you don't have to click the button crazy amount of time. But you will have a whole bunch of stuff. So that mastery will transfer over to rank 10, and then all of those back rewards, you're going to get all the crowns, you're going to get all the banners, all the emotes, all the stuff that you had before, along with all the chests that you would have earned along the way the whole time.
There we go.
Let's go.
So when I log in on August 8th,
yes,
it's going to be like Christmas.
It's going to be like Christmas, with one very, very, very important thing: if you have the mastery today.
If you have the mastery today. So we're going to get into that. One of the things with the mastery and having those is I gave out a tease last week. I saw you in some Reddit threads saying, hey guys, things are changing. You want to get it now.
Right.
Can we talk about what is going to change with the value of reputation and why we are stressing that right now, especially when it comes to masteries?
So each time you rank up, it costs some amount of reputation or coins, right? But you spend reputation each time to reset the level up bar, and that's what ranks you up, right? That's the new mastery cost, right? What we used to have in the old system.
So as an example, if I'm level 3 and I finish, is it rank 3? Rank 3. If I'm rank 3 and I want to level up, then I'm going to have to spend some reputation to unlock level or rank 4.
Exactly. And so when you spend that reputation, we immediately give you the bonus for rank 4. It might be the crown. I forget exactly which one it is, right? We immediately give you whatever that bonus is, and then you start leveling up again. You get all the chests and everything like that as you play again. And so the reputation kind of unlocks the next rank.
Okay. So what's important to me with this is, we got into some discussions, and I saw you in particular about a reputation store.
Yes.
And I alluded to this last week, but I wanted to have you on specifically to kind of talk about this. This is what I'm talking about when we say reputation is more valuable.
Yeah.
And for those cosmetic items that you want, this is the way that you earn them. Now, I'm curious because you brought up crowns. How did we land on crowns, and like, what are they?
Okay, so crowns are, they're the cosmetic item that get added to your character. And they're like these super cool, awesome golden crowns. And there's one themed for each of the moons, and the character will wear the one that is from their moon.
Okay.
Right? So if you are Grux, for example, then you will have the Zekin kind of primal horns.
Yeah.
Right? And that's really cool. They look incredible. The artist did a fantastic job. I love them. And so what it is, though, is it is a way to show off your mastery of a hero without having to wear the master skin, right? So let's say you get all the way to the end and you get that master skin. It's awesome. You love it. You get the burning Grux, and what's not amazing about it, right? But after a month or two or so, you might want to kind of put on the golden beetle Grux or whatever other skin you might have. But it makes you make a choice between, well, do I want to show off how like awesome I am, or this amazing skin that I have, right? And why not both, right? So that's where the crowns come in, is that they let you show off kind of that you have been working really hard on this character. You put in a lot of time on this character.
So another question I have with that, and I feel like this is a good time to answer or ask it, is when you have a crown, let's say for Grux, and it's a primal, and you have a level 10 for that, I'm going to say lore role, does that crown transfer over to another hero?
No, this is on a per hero basis, right? So Grux, he'll get the horns unlocked as you master him up. Now Chimera will wear the same crown because they're from the same moon, right? So he'll wear the same one, but you have to rank up Chimera as well. But then you go to like Sparrow, and Sparrow's got a cool like medieval looking crown, right? And so each of them have kind of, you unlock the crown on a per hero basis.
Okay, there we go. Mooney.
Oh, dude, it's fine. It's gonna be King Mooney out on the battlefield.
So you're not gonna have like a nice, shiny, big, huge master crown at all, though.
I mean, I'm not gonna have it initially, but you know, it's just I'm gonna be rolling down King Steel, like rolling down the lanes, dude.
We've got these smaller crowns for you, though, so you'll be able to wear those ones. So what happens is, I don't think we said this yet, but what happens is the crowns actually get better as you rank up as well.
Can you choose which level crown that you want to wear?
No, so right now it's just showing off the one, but you will be able to hide it if you really want to hide it for any reason. You're shy or you don't like the way the crown looks in the skin that you're wearing. But no, you can't down level.
If mine's always hidden, guys, that's just because like I'm shy. It's not because I didn't get it. It's because I'm shy.
No. Right. And so, this is kind of talking about some of the rewards with the reputation. Now, how much are masteries themselves going to cost? Because that was another thing we mentioned. I know there's people out there that play a ton.
Right.
They have a lot of reputation saved up, and maybe they don't have a founder's pack. Should they buy a master pack, a mastery, or should they wait?
Yeah, the short answer is, if you have reputation today and you don't have masteries, buy the masteries. They are much cheaper today than they will be in the future. And we are being extra generous with everyone in the old system, moving them forward, right? That's always kind of our philosophy in general for any migration, any change. We're always extra generous as we make the translation, right? So, in the old system right now, it's about 75,000 rep for all 10 ranks, right? And so if you have a mastery today, we transfer you and we give you 10 free unlocks for that hero, right? Now, we apply the XP. You may not be rank 10, but you won't have to pay the reputation for the first 10 ranks, right? And so that's what we mean by buy the mastery now, because 75,000 is going to get you 10 ranks in the new system. Now, the new system, numbers are not final, but they're going to be somewhere on the order of 100,000, 200,000, somewhere in there, rep for one rank up, right? So it is going to be much higher than it used to be. And that's going to kind of help apply more of that reputation pinch on the system, but you get so much more for it too, right? And so that's kind of what we wanted to do. We wanted to give you ways to choose which heroes you wanted to kind of express and get the cool stuff for, give you a lot more rewards for it, and then the reputation cost is also going to increase to go along with that. And also something I should say too is the numbers of reputation in the old system versus the new system have changed a bit, and how you get reputation has also changed because they don't come from chests anymore. So the numbers aren't exactly one for one accurate going from the old system to the new system. But yeah, today, if you have rep, I absolutely would urge everyone, all the people who are watching this, buy masteries today. You might want to save a little bit of rep for some other systems that are coming. If you've got, say, 2 million rep today, maybe save 400,000 or something like that, just for some extra things you might want in the new system. But I would burn as much as I could on the masteries, especially on ones that you already have levels, because those are the ones where we just give you the stuff. If you have a level 7 Grux, let's say, and you don't have a mastery on him, when you come into the new system, it's going to be worth lots and lots of chests.
Right. Okay. So it's important to talk about some of the reward changes in the chests and the impact of certain things. So first let's talk about what is in chests now.
Okay. So I guess the first kind of blanket statement I'm going to say is that the entire meta economy has shifted, just like the in-game economy has shifted. And it's hard to kind of make comparisons. The entire new one has changed as well, right? So of course with the change in cost for masteries, that plays a really big role. How you get reputations also changing. It's coming a lot from daily logins now, as opposed to from chests, for example. The amount that you get on a game is different. So the whole thing is different. But I'll answer as best as I can, essentially. You just kind of see it, I guess, is the best way. So chests have changed. For one, we got there was a lot of confusion out there where people thought that gold chests were actually better than diamond chests. It actually wasn't true mathematically. But what would happen is that you would open up a gold chest and it would give you like a diamond chest, and diamond chests had just a slightly different amount of things in there. And because people didn't value reputation in the old system,
that's the key.
They would think, oh, well, even though I'm getting a lot more reputation, I don't care about that as much, right? And so one thing I want to do just from a clarity point of view is that for a given chest, and it has slots essentially. Each slot is going to be identical across all chests, but different size chests give you more slots, right? So in the new system, a bronze chest gives you 2 slots, right? And it goes up 3, 4, 5. So a diamond one gives you 5 slots. So very clearly, a bronze is not as good as a diamond because it's 2 versus 5. And then the individual items that you actually can get from a given slot are now identical across all chests. So I think it just makes it a lot more clear what is going on inside of them.
There you go. So open those chests.
So depends on what you want, right? Because the content of them has also changed, right? So as I kind of mentioned before, no more reputation comes from chests in the new system, right? And same with coins. And the amount of coins that came out wasn't a massive amount, right? But coins did come out of it. That is no longer true in the new system. We no longer give out reputation and coins in the new system. We are primarily giving you cards and new secret other item thing we haven't talked about, and the upgrades and loot crate keys and that kind of thing, right? But no more reputation. So you have a choice to make, right? If you want more reputation and you have a bunch of chests stockpiled for any reason, if you want more reputation, open them today. If you want more cards and other things like that, hold them and open them after the patch. So it's your choice to make. We don't touch your chests. The content that is inside of a chest will change with the new system. But yeah, and the other thing I didn't mention is that, card packs and crafting components, other things that came from the old card system will no longer drop in chests either.
There you go. Now, it's important to, you talked about cards being in the chests. And people saw the first concept that we saw that had a level on the card. So one of the reasons that chests become so much more important is the ability to level up cards. What exactly does that mean?
So I've seen a bunch of different theories thrown around on Reddit about what that is. I don't think I saw anyone actually land on it. So what it is your cards can level out of game. It's a meta progression system. And so what you do is you open up cards, and the first time you find a card, cool, now you have access to the card, you can put it in a deck, whatever, right? But you can continue to find more copies of that card, right? And as you find more copies of that card, that gives you experience to leveling up that card, right? Now, so you collect a whole bunch of cards, and the first levels are really fast. It's like collect 2, collect 3, 4, whatever the number is, right? And it gets a lot higher as it goes. And when you level up a card, 2 things will happen. First is it will start to look fancier. You'll get a silver border, a gold border. Eventually, at the end, you get it looks foil, and let me tell you, it looks really cool. It's like this really cool, like rainbowy animation type thing. Like it's amazing.
All those TCG chasers out there.
Exactly. So you can level it all.
Everybody's foaming at the mouth, like foil.
Yeah, it's a really cool effect that the artist made. And so the card goes all the way to full foil at 10, right? And so that's for everyone, right? And then the other thing that happens when a card levels up is it gets stronger for PvE modes, right?
A very clear distinction. It gets stronger for PvE modes.
Solo and co-op, you will be able to collect more cards and get stronger. right? And you're going against bots. It's cool, right? You're gonna get better. You'll be kind of help you climb up the difficulty ranks. And we'll probably add crazier difficulties as well to kind of help balance out with the increase in power that's coming from cards, right? But they level up, and they get stronger. So all the numbers on the cards go up. The stats on the card, the effect of the abilities, they go up by about 5% power or so per level, right? And there's 10 levels total, right? And so the levels, they get more powerful, but again, it's only for that kind of that PvE mode right now, right? And so the PvP, what happens is your card power is capped at level 1. So all the numbers are kind of the original numbers, right? And that's what all the balance is built on, and it's the fair playing field and all that kind of stuff. Everyone comes in with the level 1 card, but you still get to see the cool vanity side of it, right? The foil and the gold and all that kind of stuff. And everyone else will see it as well. They'll see it on the scoreboard and stuff. So you want to kind of throw down that amazing foil card that you got, mostly because you just want to show it off on the scoreboard. You can totally do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, currently, I think everyone is kind of thinking, well, card crafting. I'm just going to craft the cards that I want.
Right.
Will that be right at V42?
Right. So there will not be card crafting in the new system immediately, right? That has been disabled. And we're saying it's temporarily disabled because we absolutely do intend to bring it back, right? But I would venture a guess that everyone who is watching this is going to end up with every single card in the new system, right? Because we're being so generous with the amount of chests that you're getting from masteries, from your old card. Like we literally, what we do is we take your inventory. We look at every card that you have, every component that you haven't used, every card pack you haven't opened. We look at all of that stuff and we assign it a score to translate it to the new system, right? And so that translation for most people gives you every card. For my own account, and I am not a crazy hardcore player, right? I'm below, probably many people who are watching this.
Right.
I got every single card when I opened up all of the chests in my test, right? And so,
I'm excited.
Yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much about card crafting right now. It's mostly for kind of a slower. The chase of getting those first cards right now is mostly about kind of the onboarding of new players, not overwhelming them with every option and giving them something to kind of unlock over the first couple levels.
Absolutely ton of effects on cards, which we'll talk about next week, but there are absolutely ton of effects on cards. So I can only imagine if you come in and you go, I don't
You're just
know
like a little overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. So, I honestly would not stress too much about the lack of card crafting because I would guess that most people are who are playing today actively and have put in a good amount of hours and things like that. They're going to translate to having every card.
Right.
Now, this is there is another crafting that is coming.
Yes.
And this is another system we'll talk about next week. But what crafting will we see in place of card crafting?
Okay, so there's going to be two different forms of it probably, and some of this is still up in the air, to be perfectly honest. We've been so focused on shipping this one that some of these we kind of put like a little to-do to figure out some of the details on for the other bits, but I guess we have to say the word now if we're
fine.
So, okay. All right, so we've added gems to the itemization system, right? And without diving into details, because that's going to be all about next week, gems are a way that you can kind of augment your deck and make them more powerful in different ways. And so you take these gems, which are intended to be kind of like simpler cards in many ways, but they have really cool, wacky different effects, right? You slot them into your deck in different ways, and we won't get into the details now, but you'll also be collecting a lot of gems as well. And so there'll be some way to, as you collect your gems, we're going to have you like combine gems in different ways to get cool different effects and stuff like that. So don't know all the details there, but the basics of it will be that you'll be able to craft a card, and so you can get a card you don't currently own using some kind of component system. The components that you have right now, we are converting them into chests for you in the new system as well. So so those aren't going to be what we use in the new system. We're going to change everything just like we've been doing. For the dispatch, that's the whole theme. So yeah, it would be some way to collect some kind of currency or something like that to craft a card you don't own, and then also to combine gems to do cool different things.
There we go. Gem system. Again, we'll talk about that more next week. I'm looking forward to that.
It's super cool. There are some amazing gems. I can't wait to start sharing them.
So I want to round up the show with a couple more questions. First, because you're the main man when it comes to UI.
Sure.
We teased some things with HUDs in the past, specifically in draft. We've had, a focus to, I think eventually, at least from some of the people we've talked to and shared information with, change around the HUD and UI, specifically in game here in the future. Are there any teases that you can give us when it comes to the HUD?
Any teases? So, I mean, I guess the biggest tease will be that our plan is to completely redo it all. And what by that, I mean, it's going to be like Control A, delete, start fresh, and let's make this thing amazing, right? The HUD has served us well for the past year and a half in this kind of early access phase, beta phase that we've been in. But it was always, temporary in many ways, right?
Okay.
And so now that we've kind of are focusing on kind of building the final versions of these systems for the game when it actually like is fully out there, which is I can't wait for. The HUD is that one of those big last final things of like we are going to completely redo this thing, and it's going to be I don't know what it is, so it's going to be amazing, of course, but we don't know what the details are yet. But we've got a bunch of people on the team who have worked on HUDs for lots of different competitive games. We've got a ton of experience, talented artists, programmers, everyone. So everyone has been begging like, when can we do the HUD? When we can do the HUD? And it's like, oh, we've got a couple things we got to do first, right? But now that we've cleared cards and masteries, the next thing that we are working on is HUD, and we've got it literally on a calendar. It's like it's out there. It's scheduled. Begin HUD rework. So it's happening.
Yes. Last thing I want to end the show with today is loot crate changes. Now, there are going to be some changes that are coming in to the update on August 8th. Can you talk specifically on what those are?
Yeah, so the loot crate system has been something we've been talking about a lot, right? We hear all the feedback, and you know, we definitely take it to heart. So for V42, there won't be any system changes to the loot crate system, but we are actively talking about how we want loot crates to behave in the future. And we're definitely hearing the feedback, and we're definitely going to be making some kind of changes moving forward. But what we did do, and it's very timely, I wish I could say that, oh yeah, this thread from 2 days ago, we totally listened to that and redid the whole thing for it.
Right.
But what we did do is we did change the UI of the screen. So as you go into the chest opening screen, there's kind of a preview page instead. And what it lets you do is you can preview literally every single item inside of it. So you can preview every skin, every emote, every banner. So you can see all of it now. And so you can bring up the full grid. It's actually kind of crazy. You hit the see all button. It's just a giant grid of all the things inside of it. You can click on any of them and you can preview everything. So
the other cool thing, and I don't know if you were going to say this, is that if you own an item in there, there's like this little check mark.
Oh yeah,
I saw that and I was like, oh,
yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, so it's it's just a nice little facelift and a nice quality of life thing to be able to actually see the content inside of it. Because I totally get it. Like it's lame that you have just this icon, you have no idea what the skin looks like.
Right. But being able to see that is kind of a little bit more like I'm chasing that.
Yeah, this is one of those things that it's kind of like we're getting there. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, hey guys, we know some of these things are pain points. We're pushing along and we're trying to improve it.
Yeah, I mean, like the analogy we use a lot is that, for some of these things we kind of got gestures in, right? Like it's if you're figure drawing and you want to kind of draw this, beautiful image or whatever, you start with some gestures, right? And the gestures aren't perfect. They're stick figures, right? Things like that. And so many of the systems that we have in online right now, I still view as kind of the gesture form of those systems. And now we're going through and we're cleaning them up and we're finalizing them, putting the shading and all the cool stuff inside of it. So,
all right. Well, Matt.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
very in depth.
Yeah.
I already know there's going to be so many threads. We're going to look at all the questions that come out of this. As always, with each of these community corners, if you have questions, please leave them down in the comment section. Hit me up on Reddit. Hit me up on Discord. We have devs on Reddit. You can ask questions there or in our forums. Anywhere that you can basically access a dev team member and you want a question asked on stream, please let us know. And more often than not, you might just see the direct answer in one of those threads. But really appreciate Matt, you coming on to explain that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think we're going to try to get you on next week to talk about cards
and gems.
So many spicy community corners, dude.
I know.
Yeah. This is great.
Leading it up.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be big one. V42.
Game is changing, right?
Yes. Yes. Forget everything you know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you later.